Concepts 4. Again, like I said in the other segments, if you haven't seen 1, 2, 3, they're on YouTube under the same heading as this one. Okay, and this will be part 4. Today we're going to talk about some drills, body conditioning, basic equipment to use, that type of thing. In Kajukenbo, again, we talked about we do a lot of Western boxing type strikes or punches versus, straight karate type strikes. So we use a lot of focus pad, a lot of boxing equipment when we do this. Focus pads, those type of things. Come on up. Grab some focus pads. The reason we do this is because we want to get used to fighting in a boxing type style. Okay, so we're going to use regular focus mitts when we do this type of work. Again, we talked about how important it is to be in a guard all the time versus having your hands low or chambering your punches, that type of thing. And by using focus pads, you get used to keeping your guard up, basically. Again, this hand is going to protect your jaw area, forearm, elbow is going to protect your ribs. Okay, if you drop them here, then obviously you're leaving yourself open here. So by doing focus pad type work with regular boxing focus mitts, you're going to get used to always coming back to a guard position each time. Okay, now let me try these. Okay, so pad work. And we'll get used to it. Take a fighting stance, boxing stance. Why don't we reverse? Okay. So you can see he's got his guard working, elbows are down, face is protected. What we're going to do is right cross, jab punch to the other pad, and then he's going to duck. And he's going to uppercut, or he's going to straight punch right into the lower region. Okay? I'm going to go right cross, punch, duck, and hit. And again, he's getting used to movement. He's getting used to rapid punching. He's getting used to keeping his guard up. And he's getting used to evading. Okay? A lot of people in martial arts, when they evade, it means you start moving backwards, and you're out of the fight when you do that. Okay? That's good. It works. You don't get hit, but you're still taking yourself out of the fight. If you can sit there and evade a punch and still be in there striking, then that's going to really improve your fighting ability. From this angle. When you get used to this, basically start off slow till you get used to the movement, and then just speed up. That. Okay. And again, you can do what we call ki drills, and whoever's holding the mat, the pads, nail them in the stomach. Okay, when you do your techniques, you should do them with some resistance, like a pad, a hanging bag, something like that. If you do techniques in the air all the time, you're going to develop speed, but it's also hard on your knees, it's hard on your elbow joints, it's hard on all your joints. But more importantly, if there's no resistance, you don't know if you have balance or not. Okay? If you have never done, let's say, any kicking on a heavy bag, or any kicking against a kicking pad, if you've never done that before and all you've ever done is kicked in the air, an experiment to do would be to take a heavy bag, 70-pound bag, something like that, or even a light 40-pound, but 70 or 80-pound bag. Give that bag a swing. Okay, get in your stance. Let's say you're going to do either a front kick or you're going to do a side kick. But give that bag a swing, and when that bag starts coming back to you is when you nail that bag. And then you'll know immediately if you've got balance when you do your techniques. Because there's a big difference between throwing your technique in the air and then throwing your technique against weight. Because what you're going to find is if you've never done it before, when you hit that bag is probably going to push you back. Okay? And then eventually you're going to basically learn that you're going to plant that back foot, push off that back leg, thrust your weight into that kick, and you're going to push the bag back. Because the 70-pound bag is 70 pounds, but when the thing is coming back towards you, it's picking up more weight, more momentum, and it's like kicking a 100, 150-pound person. Okay, and if they're moving forward, then they weigh more than 100, 150 pounds. Okay, so that's one thing you want to do, is you want to drill with some resistance. Okay, when you do sparring, same thing. You want to have some resistance. If you sit there and you focus everything and you don't contact each other, you're going to find that your balance is off. If you ever hit something solid, your balance is off. Because nothing's challenging your balance. Basically your stance work. If nothing is sitting there pushing against your stance, you don't know if it's working or not. Okay, everything works in the air. But when you're doing something against a resisting person, then that's when you really find out if your stance is solid. Okay, it doesn't have to be low kata stance, but it still has to be solid. It still has to be rooted into the ground. It still has to be a position to where when you put forward momentum into your technique, you get a result instead of pushing yourself back. Which you see a lot of times with people that aren't used to that. You watch them point fight and stuff like that, and they'll sit there and they'll throw out a kick, and if the guy's moving forward on their kick, half the time they knock themselves backwards instead of knocking the person they were kicking backwards. Okay, the only way you're going to develop that kind of power is by hitting something with resistance. Either somebody holding a bag, a hanging bag, or fighting hard contact. Okay, so when I was talking about resistance, again, this is a pretty good firm pad, but that's not really the important part. The important part is, the weight of the person holding this behind it. Okay, front thrust kick. Okay. So what you're going to find is a whole lot more resistance than kicking in the air all the time. And it's actually better for you because it does stop you from hyperextending your knee joint or your hip or anything like that. So it does actually help prevent injuries, plus it helps develop the power you actually need if you use any of this stuff for real. Okay. So this pad is firm, so what this makes you do is curl back your toes. Okay? You can't really be sloppy. If you get a squishier pad, which is good for kids and stuff, you can get sloppy with the way you connect with this. With something firm like this and something firm like a good heavy bag, again, the way you form your kick, curling back your toes, or if you're wearing shoes, you're going to have to adjust to actually hitting something solid without injuring your toes, breaking the top of your foot, or anything like that.